Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not just looking at a year or even a decade. We're zooming way in to a single pivotal month in history. I mean, what if you could take just 1 month and treat it like a time capsule? A snapshot that could reveal everything about an era. Its deepest fears, its biggest dreams, and all of its profound contradictions. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. Our destination is continental Europe, smack in the middle of the 1970s. And the specific moment, February 1976, a month that, as you'll see, really held the entire story of a continent in transition. Because Europe in this moment wasn't just one thing, but so many. It was a place of frozen conflicts and, at the same time, rapid thaws, of gritty, down-to-earth realities and these incredible high-flying dreams, all existing at the exact same time. Okay, so to really understand this continent of contradictions, we have to start with the most dominant feature of its landscape, that deep, ideological division that split it right in two. The Iron Curtain. You know, what's so striking about this moment is the timing. The Helsinki Accords, a series of agreements that were supposed to improve East-West relations, were only 6 months old. But on the ground, that political thaw hadn't really melted the ice. The Cold War was still very much a geopolitical chill. And this wasn't just some idea, it was a physical, brutal reality. The barbed wire, the watchtowers, the heavily guarded checkpoints, they were the defining features of the continent, a scar running from north to south. But while the East was locked in this kind of stasis, the South was absolutely boiling over. And here you see the central contradiction of the time. On one side, a frozen, divided landscape. On the other, a map that was actively being redrawn by political turmoil and change. So let's head to the Mediterranean, where a completely different story was unfolding. In Spain, the dictator Francisco Franco was gone, and the country was taking its first, really fragile steps toward democracy. At the same time, Italy was deep in its years of lead, a period of intense social and political turmoil marked by terrorism and street-level violence. It was a time of immense uncertainty, absolutely, but also immense possibility. So how did people cope with all this tension? Well, as always, they turned to their screens, both big and small, for a little reflection and for a lot of escape. Just look at this number. 27 million Italians. That's nearly half the entire country, all glued to their television screens to watch a fictional pirate adventure. In a time of complex, modern problems, the appeal of a simple, swashbuckling hero fighting clear-cut villains was a massive, collective escape. In the cinema, you saw this same split. Italian theaters were filled with these gritty poliziotesco films, violent crime thrillers that mirrored the nation's anxieties about corruption and street violence. But in France, a filmmaker like François Truffaut offered something completely different, with his film Small Change. A gentle, almost nostalgic look at the world of children, a search for innocence amid a growing economic gloom. But February 1976 wasn't just about division and anxiety. It was also a moment of incredible optimism, of looking past the present and toward the future. In the Austrian Alps, the world came together. The Innsbruck Winter Games offered this bright, snowy contrast to the geopolitical chill. For a few weeks, it was about athletic achievement and shared spectacle, a rare moment of unity on a divided continent. And soaring literally above it all was the ultimate symbol of technological ambition, the Concorde. This quote captures it perfectly. Down on the ground, you had strikes and economic worry. Up in the sky, you had a vision of a frictionless, high-speed future. And February 1976 was the crucial month for this dream. The Concorde had just begun commercial flights in January, but it was in February that it got the green light for the all-important transatlantic routes to the United States. The supersonic future officially got its wings this very month. So we're left with this question. A continent defined by a frozen border on the ground and a supersonic jet in the sky. One represents division and stasis, the other unity and ambition. Which of these powerful, contradictory forces, both present in that one single month, would ultimately shape the world we live in today?